later. Story of my life. All day, every day. We'll get to that later.
The story of your life is.
The story of my life. I'll get to that later.
Who sings that? One Direction. Are we really starting out with this?
Tight. Oh, you're right. Story of my life.
You know what? It was meant to be that you started singing that.
Yeah. Because rest in peace, Liam Payne.
Liam Payne.
It's so tragic.
What the heck?
So tragic. I cannot believe it. I was so shook. I was extra shook because the toast has been going so hard.
Okay, I saw that.
Liam Payne.
Yes, I saw.
So hard on Liam Payne.
Wait, Liam Payne in a bad way?
Yeah, they've been going hard on him.
Uh-oh.
I know.
Uh-oh.
Is right. And this is something that we luckily have had happen kind of the opposite way, where we talk about somebody.
Correct.
And then something comes out.
Yes.
But it's not a real bad thing.
Yes.
Right?
Or we've come for someone who actually is a bad person and then they get locked up.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
P. Diddy.
that's fine. Judy.
Thank you. But at least it's like the bad is staying bad.
Yeah.
Or we conjure up a name. We're like, oh, we haven't heard of so-and-so in forever. And then all of a sudden they make headlines the next week.
Right. We're still waiting on Macklemore. We're still waiting on Shawn Mendes. Actually, Shawn Mendes did release a new album.
He did.
But is anything hot coming off of that?
And not that I'm not hearing anything hot to go.
I'm not hearing anything hot to go.
I'm so sorry. It's not your brat summer either.
I'm sad about that because I really thought Shawn would
wanted it.
reemerge.
Yeah.
Give us, I don't know, 2 or 3 really good bops from that, but nothing's trending on
And
Reels.
we said Mandy Moore too, and we didn't see really anything come from her. However, what happened with the toast?
Okay, so why were they coming hard for him?
Because Liam Payne came to Argentina. Argentina. How would you say it?
Argentina.
Thank you so much. And we do have an update on progesterone. Okay.
We do.
Okay, I'm
We'll
not
give
sure
that.
she called in.
We'll give that.
Okay. So he went to Argentina to hear one of his bandmates. One of his 1D bandmates was doing a concert.
Niall.
Thank you, Niall Horan.
Niall Horan.
What a name.
What a mouthful.
I mean, maybe you could have changed that a little bit to a stage name. Maybe the last name, because Niall's a great name.
Niall is a good name.
Maybe River.
Nile River.
Get it?
You got jokes.
Yeah, that tickled me. Okay. So he went to hear Niall sing. And I guess the way that the toast was recalling this story is like that maybe he wasn't necessarily welcomed there. It's not like, oh my gosh, you're such good friends. No, you just went because Niall was singing and you were looking for a moment.
Oh.
Is kind of what the vibes that they were saying.
Oh,
and
my.
Then they had more to say and more to say and more to say, and kind of like gave a list of in order of 1D guys, like where Liam falls.
Was Liam at the bottom?
I think so.
Y'all, this isn't good. Okay, hang on. Have they since released a episode addressing this since his passing?
Yeah, so they go real hard, then he passes, and so I immediately, broke my ankle running to these comments.
You literally broke the news
I
on
guess.
that reel.
My bad. I just went and was like, I can't believe Liam's dead.
And then people were commenting under her going, I can't believe I'm finding out Liam's dead on a toast reel.
Yeah. Well, other people had been commenting that like,
Okay.
are y'all going to say something?
Yeah.
Because obviously they can't do anything. They release every day. They hadn't recorded for that following day, but like go on your stories and say something.
Yes, say something.
Say something.
Or at least just hop on and say, we heard, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. Stand by.
Correct, as they would say.
Yeah.
Now, Claudia did at least post like a picture after enough people said like, hey girl, you're going to say something. She posted a picture and was like, I'm in shock, or something like that.
Okay.
But nothing like on the toast side. Now, I do think that they are more corporate than we are.
Absolutely.
Obviously they are.
have people kind of running.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But you still have control over your own page.
You absolutely
do. If you wanted
do.
to go on the toast and be like, we're feeling a bit awkward now.
Yeah.
You could still do that.
Yeah. And also,
right?
That's going to push more people to listen to that episode the next day. Like, I think like that in a way is going to
It's still
get people to, I mean, it is. It's
Yeah.
going to get people to jump over and be like, OMG, what are these girls going to say? So
Now-
what did they say?
So I was chomping at the bit to hear what they were going to say the next day.
Yeah.
So that came out. Yeah, but what is time? It doesn't matter because pre-recorded. So I listened and I'm like, okay, what are they going to say?
Yeah.
What are they going to say here? And they just kept it very like news. Liam Payne died. Here's what we know. Blah, 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 blah. And at no point did they say, we are feeling a little bad. We feel like we came really hard for him. He was clearly in a bad spot.
Yikes.
And so there was none of that. Now, maybe they just make a habit of that. Maybe because, listen, these girls are covering topics every single day. They do a podcast every day.
Yeah, they
do 5 things in pop culture. You are going to have, and they have hot takes. That's the point. That's why I like listening to them too. It's like, give me the hot take.
Right. And so anything they might talk about,
Yeah.
within a week, something tragic could happen to that person or that situation.
Of course. I mean, you could even take the hurricane, for example.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what's going to happen. Things
true.
are unpredictable.
Yeah.
But I don't think that there would have been anything wrong in saying, obviously we had no clue how bad things had gotten
Sure.
or anything like
And
that.
I don't think there's any, I like to take ownership. I think
Yeah.
that's a good thing.
Mhm.
I'll even, listen, we can at least say with the pop apologist girls,
Mhm.
who we
Mhm.
still have our
Hard for
feelings.
her.
We still have our feelings about that. But
Mhm.
they did try to kind of come out and be like, we were wrong. We shouldn't have said these things. They removed all the reels.
They did.
They did. Now, did they
did.
absolutely profit off of her pain? Yes.
Yeah, because they had already, especially because on TikTok, they were already in the creators program. So every view on those reels got them a percentage of money.
So they used Kate Middleton's, if y'all missed that, these ladies really ran with the theory that Kate was either dead, missing,
A body double.
a body double. Like
That
they went on.
William was cheating on her with Rose.
Yeah.
That he had potentially killed the cousin who committed suicide. Like they were chasing down every conspiracy theory that was possible to chase.
Yes.
Making a ton of money off.
So much content with, and it was so viral. People were sharing. And the whole time you and I were like, this doesn't feel right. This doesn't feel wise to be doing this. This is going to blow up.
We were on the right side of history.
And then House and Havoc got tangled up in it with them.
We disagreed about it. I mean, Jessica and I were in our DMs.
Yeah.
Going back and forth a bit about it. And I just said.
Because Jessica loves a conspiracy theory.
She does.
She does. And I,
Hey,
I have a tinfoil hat. Y'all know. Y'all know. And so she likes to kind of chase that down. But as soon as she found out the truth from like an insider source, she apologized.
She did.
And retracted and said, guys, we need to stop. We need to stop.
I said, this is our first fight, Jess.
Ooh.
This is our first fight.
Hopefully the last.
But yes, we haven't fought since. We haven't fought since about it. And you know what they always say? The difference in the conspiracy theory and truth is
6 months.
That's it.
So keep
Just
that
give
in
it time.
mind.
Give it time.
Give it time.
Let it sit.
And keep it in mind.
Yeah. But I do. I mean, Liam Payne, I couldn't believe it, mostly because I feel like he wasn't my generation. He wasn't mine, right?
No, I was not into the Wonder.
Just below us.
Just after
He was
us.
10 years below us,
I
I'd
think
say.
so. Yeah.
And so those girls who are deep 1D fans
Yeah.
have been holding out for a reunion. So it would be like us waiting for an NSYNC reunion, right?
No, they've been holding for the reunion.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even
ruin the tour.
I didn't even. This is going to ruin the tour.
What tour?
Justin Timberlake.
The world tour.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not trying to giggle. I'm giggling about Justin.
Yeah,
Y'all, 'cause
Justin.
He's trash, and we can always laugh at his.
Yeah, because he got arrested, and
Yeah.
the first thing out of his mouth was, "This is going to ruin the tour."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
You're trash. But yeah, the same way that we are holding out for like an NSYNC reunion, and even when we thought that they were going to do the Super Bowl together and everything, like, okay, they're going to announce. This is the way that the generation right below us has been feeling about 1D. And so a lot of them are like, there's never going to be a reunion.
There just can't be.
I feel for them in that way, because if we lost a member of NSYNC, I would feel that same way too.
Yeah.
But we could lose Justin. I'm just kidding. I don't want him to die.
Oh no.
I'm not saying dead.
Oh no. What
I'm
if
just
something
saying-
happens to him tomorrow?
No, I know. That's why it came out of my mouth and I took it immediately back. Immediately back. I don't want anything to happen to him, but I'm just like, now I just kind of feel like if they were to do a tour, would I even want to go? Because I don't want to support Justin Timberlake. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I think of all of them who wouldn't go, it'd be him.
True.
Because he thinks I'm the best. I'm
Yeah.
the biggest star.
He thinks
Don't
he's
you think?
but now I think he may have been humbled.
I think he's been very humbled.
So
I do.
maybe if a tour is announced, he might be jumping right on that.
Absolutely, he will. Because after
And then I
everything
have a more obligation.
that's right. Everything that happened with his wife when he was
Yeah.
holding hands with the other woman under the table, and we all saw it.
Y'all saw it in New Orleans.
Oh boy! So
Oh, boy.
he's had some things.
And if you're doing that in public, if you're that brazen to do it on a balcony where in the French Quarter, like, hello, everyone can see, then I'm just curious what happened behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I'm also looking at that girl going,
Yeah, girl. Come on.
you know he's married, right?
You know, I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you have a TV, a magazine, or a cell phone, I'm pretty sure you know Justin Timberlake's married to Jessica Biel.
Yeah. So I am looking a little sideways at her as well.
I am. And everything that he did to Janet Jackson and
Yes.
Britney and everything. Like, Justin Timberlake, when people are like, what is your big beef with him? It's the fact that he sells the women down the river to take the fall for his bad decisions. And no one calls him out for it.
That's right.
No one calls him out for it. It pisses me off that he has been involved in these huge, monumental pop culture moments with
Yes,
women.
yes.
And somehow he just slithers right away from all the drama and the problems. And he watches these girls get annihilated by the press and by the public. And he just sits there.
Yep.
And as long as he stays quiet, maybe no one will look over at him.
That's
Y'all,
right.
he rehearsed the whole boob thing with Janet Jackson.
Yes,
it
he
was
did.
done in rehearsal. He knew exactly what's going to happen. He watched her take that fall, and he just slinked.
I know.
by.
Think about that situation. Nobody talked about him in that.
No.
It was all her fault.
He was like, oh, I didn't know that it was going to reveal that. Yes, you did. There are people who said in the rehearsals, you guys planned this out together.
Such a
And
liar.
Such a freaking liar.
Oh, I can't.
It pisses me off. And then he comes out 20 years later and is like, I shouldn't have done that to Janet. The damage is done.
No.
The damage is done.
People aren't putting up with his shenanigans anymore. Because you know what? You're getting old.
Yeah, we
And-
see
and
it.
We all are aging
We
and
see
we're
it.
getting old and we're not. We now want a Joey Fatone
Yeah.
who's a nice guy
He's a nice guy.
over this jerk over here. What
Yeah.
you looking at with your cup?
I'm sorry. The sticker's bugging me.
Oh, yeah. Take that off.
And it was-
I can't stand stuff like that.
It was making me nut. I'm like, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? I've had this cup for how many months and I'm just feeling this.
You know what? I'm going to very quickly give a wow award. I know I know it's Tuesday.
the worst of the worst?
I'm just going to say it real
Okay.
quick because now I'm looking at this. Stickers on things.
Oh,
Why?
It's-
Why are we doing this? Stores, why are we doing this? If I buy a picture frame and then I got to spend 45 minutes and my precious lemon essential oils, I'm dripping lemon essential oils on the sticker of the frame.
because you don't want to put goo off. It's so toxic.
The goo gone?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Lemon oil only.
But they make this sticker so that they rip in 78 pieces. It's only half an inch by a quarter of an inch, and somehow by the end of it, you've ripped off 78 pieces of that sticker.
That's it. And
What
you know
is
what?
happening?
If it is on glass, okay, I can spend the 45 and the lemon oil and
You
get
can
it
that
off.
X-Acto blade.
But if it is a sticker like that
Mm-hmm.
on like a cardboard packaging and I'm giving that as a gift, forget it.
You're screwed.
I actually won't buy that.
I actually just will leave the price on it, and I'll just say to the person, "This is what I spent, and I can't handle the removal of the sticker." And I honor our friendship enough that you understand that about me, and also know my budget. That's it. I can't. I'm not responsible for that.
You're like, it was $16.
It is. It's $16.99. You can see I got it on clearance. I hope you like it.
The clearance sticker is stuck on
Bright
there.
yellow clearance sticker. Like, it's obvious. You're on a budget, girl. I am. I just instead of dealing with it, I'm just telling you what I spent. Here's the receipt. I'll give you the whole thing, actually.
So we are the spectrum, which is you're gonna buy it anyway and give it with the sticker.
Yes.
I'm just not gonna buy it at all.
No, and what I'll usually say is like, "Oh my gosh, I forgot to take off the sticker."
You're a liar, just like Justin Timberlake.
No, y'all know. You're right. I mean, I might as well talking about him enough, and it just transferred right over. The lies.
The lies. I just can't stand those stickers, and I need stores to do better. And maybe because you don't want people to sticker swap and change the price.
Oh, is that why they do it?
I think some stores, like a TJ Maxx, a Marshalls, I think that's why they do that, because people could just easily swap.
Okay, but isn't everything just related to a barcode?
That's what I think.
Like maybe back in the day when, yes, we were using stickers because there was no such thing as like a barcode. Okay, I get it. They have to be harder to remove and swap. I get that's a really good point.
Yeah.
But it's 2024.
It's 2024. I think when we're at a TJ Maxx, everything's somewhere between $5 and $25. So
it's not a huge swing.
What would the loss be on that? I don't know.
It's the same with Chopped.
Yes, the same with Chopped. Bringing it back there. Chopped-a-lit chips. But also, when they scan it, they look at what it says.
Right.
So if they were to scan this tumbler and it comes up and says, eye makeup remover, they're going to be like, no, that's not the same thing.
Somebody swapped the sticker.
Yeah. So let's do better.
This is our first world problem of the day. Thanks for coming. That's it. We'll get
so
better.
that was just a quick wow. I certainly have more things to say on Thursday.
Okay.
But we will get to it.
But rest in peace, Liam Payne.
I know.
Absolutely tragic. We hate a 31-year-old dying.
And
that's so young.
But there are conspiracies already swirling about his death. But I think ultimately what has been revealed very clearly and with facts is that there was a drug situation.
Yeah.
There was a call to the police.
Mm-hmm. He was acting erratic in
the
hotel lobby earlier.
Yeah.
He smashed his laptop.
Mm-hmm.
He was screaming. They called the cops and said he's under the influence of alcohol and or drugs, it seems like.
Yeah.
They had to carry him back to his hotel room.
Yes.
And then he was on Snapchat an hour prior to his passing.
Right.
And then he was dead. Over the balcony.
And they had even said in that 911 call, did you hear that?
What?
In the 911 call before he passed, okay? So the guy calls and is like, listen, we got somebody being erratic. We need a police presence. He's in his room trashing it and kind of going crazy, and we are afraid to go in.
Yeah.
So they're going back and forth with the police, and the hotel guy is like, there is a balcony in his room, and we are afraid he will fall over it.
Oh my goodness, I did not hear that.
He did. Now, it's all in Spanish, but I found a tweet that interpreted. And they did. They said, we're worried about him going over.
Oh, boy.
I know.
It's like, it feels like they tried to do everything.
They did. It's all on the record.
What do you, really, what do you do?
I don't think there's anything more they could have done.
I know. And I feel for him. And his girlfriend had been with him for 2 weeks in Argentina.
Yes.
But she left the day before.
Oh, she wasn't even there? I didn't know that.
She left the day before. And I don't know why she left. I don't know what she was getting home to or if things were rocky with them and she wanted to leave. He also has an ex-girlfriend who is, who there's contention there. And I think that was stressing him out too.
Yes.
There's a lot. And he has been very open with his substance abuse problem.
Yeah.
He has been in rehab. He has tried to get a grip on it, but addiction, it's hell. Hell.
And all the 1D boys putting out their statements and stuff. Oh my gosh.
I know. And he has a 7-year-old son.
Wait, I didn't know that.
He has a 7-year-old son with an ex.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so prayers up
for
baby. For Liam's family. Yeah. May he rest in peace.
And hopefully he's free of
all
of the stuff that haunts him.
Yes.
And that troubled him and everything else. Because ultimately a lot of times substance addiction comes down to numbing and forgetting. And there's obviously something there that he's trying to numb or forget. And
yes.
It just sucks. But I hope he is truly at peace.
Yes.
In his orb.
He's in his orb.
Yeah.
So many these young stars end up in a bad way.
Yeah.
And I can we do better for these folks? I don't know.
Life, I think it just, when you become a star at a young age, there is a trajectory that a lot of them are surrounded by too many adults.
Yeah.
Then you see too many adult things and it warps your brain into almost thinking you're older and more mature than you are.
Yeah.
But the biology is what it is inside of your body.
Right.
So you have this weird dichotomy of you're surrounded by adults and yes people and you're making major decisions with maybe way too much money and way too much power.
Yes.
But then they also say that, like, if something bad happens to you, whatever age that happens to you, it stops your brain from maturing at that age. So it's kind of like, so then you have these child stars who potentially have had something very bad happen to them. So now their brain is almost paralyzed, but the rest of their like their physical body and even mind is saying, no, you have to be a grown-up and make all these decisions. And a lot of times you're providing for your families. Like your success is what they are reliant upon.
Your parents, your grandparents, your siblings, everyone's relying on your success and your bankroll.
So then you have an immense amount of pressure. And then you have all these adults are swirling around you, and some of them are very bad.
Yes.
And then bad things happen to you. And so I do not envy the child star.
No.
Luckily, my kids didn't want any part of like acting or singing or dancing or doing any of those sorts of things that could potential or modeling or any of that could kind of lead you down that path. They had no desire. I didn't grow up that way, so it was totally foreign to me. But for parents who are waffling with that decision, that's got to be really tough because there's so few success stories. Like,
well, that's the thing. I feel like the people that come out of it doing well, thriving, good relationships, they need to be studied. We need to figure out, okay, well, what was the difference?
Name one.
I'm
like really in my brain right now. I'm trying to rack it and think.
Okay, Mandy Moore.
Okay.
Mandy Moore.
Yeah, she was very young. What was she? Was she a Barney girl?
I don't know if she was Barney.
No, was she?
But she was in the era of the Britney, the Christina,
the
Jessica Simpson, and then her. So I'd say out of those four, Mandy Moore came out doing well.
Yeah.
So what was it? Was it that her parents were always around and refused to leave her side? I have no idea. What was the situation?
Or good parents, because I think, like, look at JoJo Siwa's mom.
Right.
She's always around.
That's true.
Is she making great decisions for JoJo, or is she just riding those coattails and saying yes as much as possible? I don't know.
Yeah, because again, the monies.
Yeah, her mom's made plenty of money. I mean, on Dance Moms alone, she's half of the star. She's half of the paycheck.
Now, I do feel like Christina Aguilera currently is doing very well.
Yeah.
I think she she
went through it.
She went through it. She had some ups and downs. Now, we did get the song Dirty out of one of her phases.
Yeah.
And I love that song.
Yeah, thank you.
I do like Dirty.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think that with Christina, she was just pitted against the other girls.
Yeah, she was.
Did she go through like a crazy phase? Was she, I mean, maybe there was some substance stuff there.
Maybe a little bit.
But I am really trying to rack my brain. I don't actually think, I think just the way she dressed and was more provocative, people labeled her stuff. Yes. But I'm like, in reality, what was it?
What was it? Oh, and Fighter. I love the song Fighter.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Is that not
Makes
Shock
me
Collar?
wanna,
Makes me work a little bit harder. Makes me that much stronger.
Makes making me a fighter. That's my song for the haters.
We got some haters.
We got some haters.
Wow.
Hey, haters, some of y'all might be listening. Some of them.
We have had a couple weeks of just.
We've had a couple weeks.
Hate.
Interesting, huh?
It is interesting. I am,
the haters, they drop some breadcrumbs.
They sure do.
And then we can see that trail.
Yep.
And we know where it ends up and who's at the end of that trail.
You're Hansel. I'm Gretel.
Yeah.
It has been. Maybe those should have been our Halloween costumes. Just Hansel and Gretel picking up these haters' crumbs.
Trying to get to the evil witch and her candy cabin.
Okay, but I will say this. I really needed to read this DM this morning on the way here. It made me cry. Okay.
Somebody had something nice to say?
Yeah.
Okay, while you find that, I'll say real quick.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I am at my kids' last cross-country meet of the season.
Mm-hmm.
A teacher comes up and
From
says,
MCA?
Yes, and says, I just have to tell you, I adore your podcast.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that, teacher.
And it makes me so happy. And she said, the other night, I couldn't sleep. And so I pulled up your YouTube.
And she watched it?
And watched it when she couldn't sleep. And in my mind, I'm like, that we're the most chaotic people and not relaxing. But how sweet of her to wake up and be like,
Thank
kind
you.
of wrestling and saying, you know what, I'm just going to watch Miranda and Kristen. Just giggle.
Whoever this teacher is, if you will send us, if you have an Amazon wish list, send it to us. We'll post it on our stories and we'll see if we can get your list cleared. Just for supporting us, we'll support you back.
You know who you are. Send me your list.
Please do.
Love that idea.
Please do. And if that gives some other teachers, hey, you want to spread the word amongst your school, maybe put it out to the group chat.
I love that.
Okay, we'll see what we can do. Scratch our back, we scratch yours.
Okay, tell me this DM. I'm excited.
So I got this DM October 1st.
Okay.
I started at episode 1 the last week of July, and I'm listening to episode 97 as we speak. I'm not sure what this says about me, but I have been working on house projects and listening all the while. I nearly died laughing while listening to the episode about the unfortunate crotch incident at Carowinds while I was driving, and the tears were making it hard to see. I said, OMG, this is so impressive. I'm seriously honored. And then I said, I still think my pubic bone is bruised. Okay, this morning, I'm on my last episode. I panicked and joined Patreon. Now I have more to hear. Ha ha. I voice noted her because I was crying.
Oh.
I literally sent her 2 minutes of voice notes where I was in tears. And just wanted to say to her and anyone else, because I know several of y'all have started like right in the middle or right at the last one that we shared, and you loved it so much, you went all the way back to the beginning.
Yes.
There's nothing more complimentary than that.
I know it.
Okay, there's nothing more complimentary than saying, I loved this 1 hour so much, I don't want to miss a thing. So I'm going all the way back to the beginning. And by not missing a thing, not just what we're saying, but then all the inside jokes.
All the jokes.
All the funnies.
Yes.
Then you're going to the Instagram page. You're trying to comment. You're trying to find those old reels. You're trying to find those old receipts. Oh my gosh, I see the picture of you at Carowinds. Rain-stained mascara, crying, holding your crotch, bent down, icy cold hands on it. There's nothing more complimentary than that. And so
it's worth all the pain.
I did. I cried and I said, thank you so much. We are about to go record for a really long time. We're bringing Halloween episodes. We're, doing costumes and makeup and hair and all this stuff. And we're going to have like a 5 to 6 hour day here working just before all the other work has to begin and happen.
That's right.
And so for someone to say it today of all days, because we'll do all this and then we'll go, who's going to listen? How many are going to watch?
I said that to the teacher.
Why are we doing all this?
I said to her, this means so much to me that you would say this. So thank you for taking the time to say it. And I said, sometimes we go in here and we record and it's like we're talking into a void.
Yeah.
And we don't know whose ears it's going to reach. But every time we get a DM like that or a compliment, it just gives me a little more fire. And also the haters give me fire.
The haters.
Yeah. And so I do play Christina Aguilera and I do think of you. And just know if you are a hater, keep hating because it will push me to make this successful and I will work at it and I will work hard and be creative and cute for as long as I have to be just to prove you wrong. So thank you so much.
Yes. So for all the Elizabeths of the world and all the haters, the motivation is going to happen no matter what.
That's it.
It's here and it's happening and we are pushing and pushing and pushing. You know what you haven't told me yet? And someone did ask me recently.
Yeah.
Because around this time last year, we were talking about getting to 100,000 downloads. And so someone did recently ask me like, hey, how we doing? I just need to know how much I need to push. And my point is always push. Always push for us.
Yes.
Always share the episode with your girlfriends in your group chat, on your Marco Polos, on your Instagram, whatever. Even if you have 100 people who follow you, there are 100 real people who might actually listen along. That's much better than 100,000 people, 90,000 of which are fake.
Are bots.
Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like that's you're just speaking into a void. Truly. But so are we. So I guess we're one and the same.
You know what? I need to look up our locations too of downloads because it used to be Singapore was really hot,
and then we talked too much about it, and they said Singaporeans do not like being called out.
Yeah, and I think they dipped out like Tom Sandoval.
Yeah,
and so we will check and see where we're popping off. That's not the United States.
Yeah, and we just need to know numbers so that we've got to beat last year's, obviously.
Yeah. No, I think we'll hit 200,000 before February of next year.
Oh, that's right, because it was February to February.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's December.
No. It's February. Yeah. No, we'll hit, and actually we've done less episodes.
True.
So you know what I'm saying? Because we were cranking out like sometimes 3 or 4 a week.
I don't know what we were doing.
Why? Why were we doing that?
I guess we were really trying. And then we realized, why?
Why
No, I'm
try?
just kidding. No, we're going to keep pushing for y'all. And we are loving what we're doing and we love each other.
Yes.
And it's so fun. I told Kristen the other day that I'm so in love with her.
She said, is that weird? And I was like, not weird at all. Anyway, so
I'm so in love with you.
Because I had like so many other things to say. I really should have revisited that.
No, it's okay. I was like, I'm so in love with you. I said it so earnestly. And then I waited a beat and I said, oh, is that weird? She goes, not weird.
Not weird. Anyway, make sure you get your costume ready for the recording for October 31st. Because
Yeah, she's laser focused.
I really am.
Yeah, I love that about you.
Speaking of lasers, oh wait, we got to do our.
We'll do it in 2 and 2.
Okay, so let's jump into it.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my 2 back to back. So, I told y'all about my nose last week. And something I meant to say, because I don't know if I've ever told you this, and I don't think I've told the podcast, is everything that has ever gone
Well,
wrong.
it'd be really weird if you had told them and not
Well,
me.
that's true. That's true. I did a secret episode.
Yeah, like, okay.
I hid it from
Is
you.
there something you want to tell me? PodcATTS about Kristen? I don't know.
Everything that's ever happened to me physically has been on the right side of my body.
Really?
This ovary that was removed was on
Yes.
the right. Y'all know the one with teeth in here.
Yeah.
That that dermoid cyst. Don't throw up. She's gagging. The teeth and the hair cyst.
I just have a visual in my mind.
it's disgusting.
Didn't we talk about it? It's the Quiznos subs guy.
Yeah, it's the
That's the visual in my mind is the Quiznos says we have a pepper bar. And is that guy with the teeth and that's your tumor for me.
You are so right. We'll be pulling that receipt for sure. So that was on the right side. Then you remember I had the breast cancer scare a couple of years ago, and they put a little chip actually in my boob to monitor it. So anytime I do get scanned, they'll know exactly the spot to check. So that's in my
Whoa.
right boob.
Okay.
The right thyroid.
That's where the scar is.
Yes. So I had the right half of my thyroid removed in 2001.
No wonder you're so thin. What's left?
I know. I've lost so much weight just from the organs alone. And then the right side of my nose. So y'all, and also this right foot turns out when I walk. So I'm trying to figure out, I kind of want to call Pam and be like,
It's all the Mountain Dew. It just went to the right side of your body.
like, does she remember that maybe I was laying a certain way in her stomach and the Mountain Dew was hitting the right side of me? Or like,
It's got to be that.
when they laid me down to like sleep at night, was I a right side something? And I was on like one of those old mattresses with the toxins just coming into my body on the
and
right
all the lead
side.
paint probably on the crib.
Correct.
Yeah.
So this is a mystery. I think it's very, very strange. I really do.
I do think that it's weird that it's all on your right side, but you're right a lot.
I am right and correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I am right-handed. I don't know. No, it's too weird. If I can name 5 things wrong with me and it's all on the right side, that's weird.
So this is on your right side? I could have sworn it was on your left.
Mm-hmm.
It's on this side.
It's
you
on this
covered
side.
up so well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now it's just super red from the biopsy, but we'll see. We'll see how it turns out.
I'm not seeing that red.
Well, I mean, because I covered
Yeah,
it.
because you covered it up. But I'll see it. I guess we'll see it on our Get Ready With Us.
Yeah. Well, I'll just pile on more makeup.
Okay, right. We're going to film our Halloween episodes later, you guys. And
Yes,
so we have our costumes, and we've been working so hard.
And the Get Ready, you guys, is going to go on Patreon.
Yes, it
so
is.
if you want to watch us actually do this and piece this together, you're going to get to see that on Patreon.
I'm so excited about that. And I did tell Kristen last night as I was making a part of my costume that I've lost all my fingerprints.
Yes.
Because I was using something so sticky that it was ripping off my fingertips. And so I was like, by the way, if I need to kill anybody, right now's the time.
You can commit a crime.
I can commit a crime. They will not be able to trace these fingertips because of this adhesive.
Yeah, but
So let me know who I need to kill. Again, the haters.
But the DNA
oh yeah,
that
it's
you're
everywhere.
that you're leaving behind.
Everywhere. My psoriasis is falling.
Yes, the hair.
Track who I am through my psoriasis.
Yes, that's your DNA, baby.
Yeah, I know. It's just like those flakes are so tiny.
They're so tiny.
Well, some of them are very big. It depends. If I get just the right spot at the base of my, y'all want to hear about this, I'm sure. right at the base of my neck. Sometimes I can peel off a whole thing. It's like the size of a dime.
Oh, but that's so satisfying.
So satisfying.
Oh, please, next time you get that, let me peel it. Let me peel that.
I'm sure that there's one right now you could tackle, because the longer I go in between bleaching my hair, my psoriasis gets really crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's something in like the ammonia and everything that kills.
It sloughs it off.
It does. It kills it. It sloughs it off. It seeps down into the pores, burns it off. I don't know what it does. But then as the roots grow out and my natural hair starts to come back and the oils and everything, so does the psoriasis.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Mirabam and I did talk for a while. We're like, there's got to be something to this. Maybe we could come up with like a psoriasis topical cure.
Yes.
But that was short-lived because I can't follow through on anything.
I cannot.
What's your second thing?
Okay, second thing, also related to the nose. I promise this isn't my whole personality now, but there were things I forgot to say.
Yeah, no.
I want to know if you remember this. Do you, please tell me, when Hugh Jackman, when The Greatest Showman came out.
Yes.
Okay, which we love.
Love that movie.
We love the soundtrack.
Oh, it's so good.
Hugh Jackman, multi-talented.
Obviously a star.
A star.
What a star.
He came out of stardom smelling like a rose. He's great.
Sure did.
Yeah. So when that movie came out, they would show some like behind the scenes stuff. Do you remember the video where it's him and the whole cast of characters? They're in kind of like a recording studio.
Yep.
And they're singing From Now On.
Yes.
And what was interesting about that video is that Hugh Jackman had just had a basal cell removed from his nose.
Okay, was he wearing a bandage on it?
I think he might have. And what the caption, kind of the backstory of this video is, people said Hugh came in to just kind of watch. His surgeon had told him, you cannot sing. Do not sing these high notes. That's because it comes through the nose.
It comes through the nose. It could.
Yes. And so he's like, you have stitches, please do not sing. You may go in and observe everybody singing and doing this kind of like cool a cappella situation, but like you gotta cool it, bud.
That song is so good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So another guy, I think, was singing Hugh's part, like as the song begins and he's kind of singing his part and Hugh's there. But then halfway through, Hugh could not help himself.
He couldn't hold back.
He could not hold back.
No, and you couldn't. If I were in that room, I can't even carry a tune. And I would have been, from now on. And I would have been
hitting that high note. From now on. He is hitting a strong high note. And he could not help himself and was like, screw it. I don't care about the surgery.
I don't blame him.
I love music and singing so much that I'm going to sing this. So I want to research, like, did he pop a stitch? I don't know. I don't know if he did, but it just reminded me of that. I'm like, I'm in good company. He is an Australian, by the way.
Yes, he is an Australian.
And the Australians are dealing with more skin problems because their ozone is gone.
And they are so close to the equator.
They are.
And there was a funny thing about Australians. I saw a reel last night about a girl, and she was telling her best friend that she was pregnant. And the best friend was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant too. They ended up being 5 weeks, 3 days each. They were crying. They were hysterical. But they were both Australian. And so they were going, no way, no way. But it was like, Norway, Norway. And the top comment said, why are these girls saying Norway so much? And they attached the Norwegian flag.
Norway, Norway.
Norway, Norway, Norway. And they're crying, Norway, Norway. And I was like, this is peak humor. Thank you so much, internet, for saying, why are they saying Norway, and put the flag there. And everyone underneath was like, thank you.
Thank you.
This is what we needed to giggle. Thank you.
Oh, and it's N-A-U-R. I love when people say that.
Yeah.
N-A-U-R. That's how you say no in Australian.
And you attached something on our stories the other
did.
day about it. It was so
It was like
funny.
saying no, frowny face. Saying nar, smiley face.
No. Nar. You can't. You can't help it.
So, you know what? Hugh Jackman said nar to his surgeon.
And his nose still looks great.
And his nose looks great. His nose looks
So
great.
you're going to be fine.
I'm going to be fine.
Did anybody get back to you with some ideas?
No.
No.
Nar? I had a couple of like friends, people in my life reach out and say, oh my gosh, oh, well, my dad did this or my friend had that and it's fine and you're going to be great. And,
Well, then maybe that just means a bunch of our PodcATTS don't have skin cancer.
Well, that's what
So I'm thrilled.
I'm for a BCC, I'm very young to be getting one. So that's why it is more of like a hereditary. Oh, but let me tell y'all this real quick, PodcATTS.
Yeah, did you talk to your parents?
Okay, I talked to the surgeon. After we recorded, I went in, talked to him. Great conversation.
Okay, good.
I love this man. Matt came with me, and he really liked him too. And it's actually kind of hard to impress Matt. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
Because Matt's like kind of suspicious.
Yeah.
He's suspicious. Yeah, he's a skeptic a little bit. He loved the guy. We asked so many questions. He had great answers. I didn't feel like I was being sold on anything.
Yeah. You don't
and
want
I like that. But what I want to tell you guys is if you are someone who is fair, light eyes, light hair, maybe freckly, maybe have a family history of some of this, there is a treatment called a blue light treatment.
Oh.
And I will share this in stories like the pamphlet so y'all
It's
can
one of
look it
those
up.
masks where you can change the colors.
Well, so what it is you get this like gel cream. You put it on the night before and you have to be in pitch dark. Like you're literally blind putting it on and you stay in the dark all night. Okay.
That's easy for me.
Right?
Yeah.
So light cannot touch you. Okay, so you're dark. Then you go the next day to the office and you're covered. Like someone has to drive you because you have to almost put a bag on your head.
Yeah, that makes sense because it would be so dangerous if sun were to zap this or whatever. Okay.
And so you drive and then they do this blue light kind of zapping treatment. Now, for a week, you're going to look insane.
Okay.
Y'all can look this up on YouTube and find out. But you're going to look a little crazy. You're going to be very puffy, very swollen. But what this treatment does is it will zap and target anything that's starting to happen on your face, right? Maybe a little precancerous spot, maybe a little freckle that's starting to be not so great. It's going to reverse that.
Wow.
And they said you do it every maybe 3 to 4 years. Insurance usually will cover it. If you qualify, if you fall into one of these categories, insurance will cover it. So I'm just I was like, I'm telling all my girlfriends about this.
Are you going to do this after you
get?
Okay.
So the PA girl was like, I would say let's handle your nose first, and then sometime next year let's schedule you for the blue light. So I'll do it, and I was like, I'll film it.
Yeah, I wanna come behind and maybe just do a documentary about it.
That's going on YouTube for sure. That's going to be besides our foot fetish video, that will be our next watch video.
I know that's going to be high up there. And maybe what we can do is start with our feet and then pan up to your face and it will please everyone.
We'll get everybody.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm excited.
I'm so glad you're excited.
That's my 2 things. What have you got for me?
Okay. Well, I have several things, but one of them, I had a dream about Princess Kate.
Oh.
And because we were talking about Kate earlier, and I don't know that I've ever had a dream about Princess Kate. Not that I can remember, not that I can wake up and recall specific details.
Right. Like you probably dreamed it deep in your sleep, but woke up out of it
or moved on to the next thing. And I still am very fascinated by the fact that dream experts say that our dreams are like half a millisecond.
It's so weird.
But I've had an entire script. I mean, I could tell you the whole thing that happened, and you're telling me it was a flash.
But that's like the story that I told of the guy that got knocked out in the car wreck, and he had a whole dream.
Yes.
He had a family. He had children. He was happy. But then when he looked at the lamp and it was 2-dimensional, it woke him up, and he was laying on the pavement. And he was like, wait, I lived a whole life.
An entire life. Like, I would be so messed up from that.
I really would.
I would be so messed up from that.
Yeah.
So I have this dream about Princess Kate, and I think it's my first like real one. And it was so realistic. I was at somewhere. I just remember her walking in and being like, hey, like
an old
She
friend.
knew me like an old friend, but it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this is Princess Kate saying hello to me. It was just like, hey, we got on a bed just like girlfriends do and giggled.
Oh my gosh.
We were just kikiing.
And what's her voice? Like her British voice?
It was exactly her voice. We were just talking. We were laughing. We were giggling. And the whole time I thought to myself, when do you bring up May 4th? When do you bring up that we've met before? Because we're friends. We're friends. But did we stay friends from that point?
Right.
But I don't remember talking to her in between now and then.
You in your dream, you wanted to clarify, how did we get to this point?
How did we get to this point? How did we get to the point to where, you know what? I did see you on May 4th. William and I did talk about you at dinner.
Yes.
And then I found you on Instagram and we became friends. And then you came to visit me in London. And now we're here on the bed giggling. We were clothed.
In the palace.
Yeah. Like just normal, like a normal room, a normal bed. It could have been here. It could have been this bed right here. But
was it so fun though, giggling with her?
It was so fun giggling with her. She was normal. She was just like, it was just having a regular conversation with a bestie, but it was exactly Princess Kate.
Oh my gosh.
And I just remember being like, oh my gosh, she can just like recline on a bed and laugh. That must be so nice.
Of course she can.
But like, how often is she doing that?
And Harry loves that about her.
Oh, shut up. Stupid. So stupid.
He loves that she's just like a casual girl.
You know what? He probably does. And who doesn't?
Who doesn't? He should be in love with her. As you said.
Everybody should be. And so the whole time I'm just like, okay, restrain yourself. Don't bring up.
Be cool.
Don't bring up like, hey, do you remember that I was the girl? Because obviously you're just friends now.
Yes.
So just cool it, Miranda. Just cool it. Stay present, stay focused, stay in the moment. And I remember my alarm going off right around this time. And I was like,
oh, what a letdown.
I never got to ask her. But then I said, snooze, get right back into it. It doesn't matter. Lily can be late. She can be late to school. I have to get to the part where I ask her if she remembers that I'm the girl with the blazer, with the purple hair, standing outside of the Dog and Duck. I have to ask her this so that I just want to make sure that she knows that was me and that I've loved her forever and that we already had a moment and now we can continue to have all these great moments.
So you were able to push snooze and go back in.
I pressed snooze. I jumped right back into it. And it hit snooze again, and I still wasn't able to ask her. And to this day, I have tried every night before I fall asleep. I'm like, think about Princess Kate giggling on the bed. And I want to go back, and I want to ask her, but I can't. My body won't let me.
I cannot.
I know.
You're trying so hard.
So hard.
Oh my gosh. What if she's dreaming of you? Actually.
What if?
You know what, y'all? Oh my gosh, this is wild. You're bringing this up.
Okay.
And I think I saved this and I'll try to post it for y'all. An Institute of Sleep just came out that they, for the very first time ever this week, y'all, they found a way for two people asleep in REM sleep to communicate. They had a word.
How do they know?
They had a word.
Okay.
That they fed in their sleep. They fed it
to
one person and they were all hooked up and there was a machine and somehow the machine does something. I can't explain that to you all. So please don't ask.
No, Kristen, please.
Tell us the science.
Tell us the science behind it because if anybody can, it's you.
The machine looks like a rectangle. Okay. Anyway, they said,
wow, that is helpful.
Yeah. Just like
Yeah.
it's almost like a Bitcoin mining machine. Okay. Think of it that way.
Let me explain how those work.
Yeah. If you want to do this, go to an Airbnb, hook up with the machine. They will foot the bill. So they fed the person one this word, and then the person had it in their head, and somehow it hooked up to a machine to the other person, and that person was able to wake up and say the word.
And it was such a random word.
Oh my gosh. Like, think about this.
Okay, so Joshua has told me before on my noise app, on the brown noise,
Yes.
you know, he's like, does it sound like there's words coming through? Does it sound like someone's talking to you?
Oh, like a demon.
I'm like, listen, I'm like, no, I do not hear any words. I just hear the...
But he's hearing something.
He thought he was hearing words and he's like, I'm just saying that you never know what these people in these apps are trying to like mind control.
That's freaking me out.
Tell you things because it's subliminal and it's so...
Ooh.
It's so subliminal is the only word I can think of, but it's just that
it could be whispering
messaging, just whispering, and he's like, is it about the election? Is it about this? Is it about that? Like, what is it trying to convince people of? I'm listening. I'm like, babe, there are no words. It's just the.
I wonder if we could, is there like a technology where we could send someone a soundbite and be like, break this down for us? Can you find any undertone?
Right.
I've got a friend, Chris. I bet he could do it.
Okay.
I'll send him a little screen recording of the white noise.
Send him the brown noise and just say, are you hearing anything? Yeah. I think that it was just a moment in time where Joshua was a little bit extra heightened. about something going on and was just like, am I hearing that? Am I hearing that? I'm like, I promise you I listen to this every single night.
Yeah.
The only thing it's telling me is Princess Kate's on a bed giggling.
That's right.
And I'm happy about it.
Oh my god.
So let me have my time with her. But I just wanted so badly to fall back asleep.
I
and
know.
say, it's me. And her to go, no, I know. I know it's always been you.
I wish I could make that happen for you. Like that. What's interesting is no matter how much like money or power somebody has, you can't force that to happen. Now, maybe now that we're feeding words to people, could we insert dreams into people's brains? I don't know. Are we headed there?
Like,
maybe.
is she thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about her? Is she wondering how's that purple haired girl
might
and the
be.
bright blazer doing?
She might be.
I do wonder that sometimes. I definitely stand by the fact that I know she talked about me at dinner that night, and I will die thinking that. No one can convince me otherwise.
I agree.
So don't even try, and don't put it into the brown noise.
Yeah.
So I'm not. You can't.
No.
And I'm resting in that. And then somebody also said to me last night, I was trying on my new coat.
Yes.
My new coat of many colors
from Temu.
From Temu. And someone DM'd me and said, next time you meet Kate, you got to be in this coat. I said, that is a fantastic idea. I absolutely will be taking that to my next trip to London. Or if they come here and they go, on a tour in the United States like they like to do. But obviously she's not doing that right now.
That is a good person and a good follower.
That is a great follower.
That's a good follower.
Thank you so much for reminding me of that. And I will be doing that. Also, she did have another appearance.
Yes, she did.
She went to Southport. For those who don't know, Southport, there was this tragic thing that happened, last month, where kids were at this fun Taylor Swift day. So it was just like a Taylor Swift event, not like sanctioned by her or anything. But just a fun day to get together and make friendship bracelets and play Taylor Swift music and everything. And a madman came and stabbed multiple people to death, including children. It was absolutely horrific, disgusting. So Prince William and Princess Kate decided to go and visit the village, basically, or the town of Southport, go specifically to that place and just see, anything that they could do.
That's so nice. Yes.
And it's so like Kate to pick, because this was one of her only official engagements that she's done all year long.
Yeah.
And the fact that she made it this just speaks to who she is as a person, because she deeply cares about children. Deeply cares about children and their safety and their mental health and all of that. So I thought it was so beautiful that of all the things that they could have picked and to do together, and she and William matched in their maroon. They looked stunning, beautiful, all the things, and it was such an important thing to go to. And that's just my girl. I mean, that's my girl. And if I dream tonight, I'm going to tell her I loved it.
Please keep us posted on this. This is a TBD. Did Taylor Swift ever say anything about this incident?
She did say something about the incident.
Okay, that's good.
She did say something about it, and I would have to Google it and be like, did she offer to pay for the funerals or something like that? I feel like maybe I heard that in my subconscious somewhere, but it could have been the Brown Noise app.
It could.
But I will look that up.
Because a lot of that just kind of is brown noise, Yeah,
it sure is.
It is brown noise.
Okay, so let me talk about something that will make us giggle. My second thing.
Yes, let's hear it.
We are obsessed with Brian Jordan Alvarez.
Yes, we are.
Okay?
Yes.
Obsessed with him. He is one of the funniest follows on all of Instagram.
Yes, and I did one of his audios for one of my lip syncs. All of y'all in Miss Benson's class. That's him.
All in y'all Miss Benson's class at the field trip with the sandwiches.
Yes.
Okay, and you're lining up over there.
You're going to go by the water and do sandwiches. Now,
And if you forgot,
didn't help you pack a sandwich, Miss Benson has 3.
but only 3.
Talk to me if you do not have a sandwich, and I will talk to Miss Benson. Now, y'all don't be talking all in the line here. I want single file, and I want y'all to line up single file to get on bus 54, and I do not want to hear about it.
I don't.
Anything. I don't want to hear about anything.
That's it. God, I don't know how you do it. you on the spectrum? I mean that as I genuinely mean
might
that
be.
as complimentary as it possibly can, because listen, we're all on the spectrum.
I
y'all.
might be.
It's called a spectrum for a reason.
Yes.
It's called a spectrum for a reason because we're all on it. It's just some have none
Yes.
and some got it all.
I mean, we've talked bell curves on this podcast.
The way
many
that
times.
you can memorize things so quickly with the articulation and the enunciation and the high and the low and the pointing and the eyes and raising them and lowering them. It is wild that you can do it and that you can do it so quickly that I'm just saying, if this is the spectrum and whatever it is that helps you have it, you're a little here. You're a little here.
Yeah. And I
don't think you're that in any other way.
I will take
except for
that
this.
and happy to have that. Happy to be on that bell curve.
It's amazing.
Yes.
It really is. And to recall it all this time later. So anyway, Brian Jordan Alvarez, Kristen turned me on to him a million years ago.
Yes.
I mean, pre-COVID, we've been following him. You got some of his merch along the way.
Yes, I have some of his merch, and Matt even got me one of his cameos for Mother's Day.
Yes, got Kristen the cameo. Well, he came out with a new show called The English Teacher.
Yes.
Now, I didn't really know that he was an actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was on Will and Grace
Okay.
years ago.
Okay, he was on Will and Grace years ago. Now, I did watch Will and Grace when it was like on the TV.
Yeah.
I did not recall him being a main character.
Yeah. No, I think he was kind of a side guy. I don't even know if he was in every episode.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay, so I just knew him more as like Instagram funny guy.
Yes. Yes.
And then he puts out the show called The English Teacher. He starts promoting it. I'm like, I'm going to give it a whirl. I'm going to watch it. It is so funny.
It's fantastic.
It is one of the best shows on TV in a very, very, very long time. It's on FX. I have to go through Disney Plus, through Hulu. To FX.
Yeah.
To watch it. And I did have to change the settings to adult. So I guess like my Disney login was just like for 13-year-old or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, because there's definitely some adult
Yes.
themes.
Oh, in this show, this is an adult show.
Very much an adult show.
Now, Lily watches it with me because I watched them first and then was like, you will love this.
Yeah.
This is very funny. Let's watch it together.
Yes.
And if it opens up some conversations, great. And it's nothing that she hasn't heard or can't see.
I would say like similar to maybe Schitt's Creek. Similar to that, I would
But
say.
even more.
Maybe just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gayer.
It is.
Yeah.
It's giving even more. When I'm
Yes.
thinking of some of the scenes, it's like, okay, yeah, that's visually, yes.
Visually, yes. Visually, yes. So it's they are in a bed a la Kate and me.
Yeah. We're
But
seeing
Kate,
some.
we were not making out.
You and Kate weren't making.
No, we weren't making out. And I do want that distinction because she would never cheat on William and I wouldn't cheat on Joshua.
No.
And we're not into the ladies.
No.
But
no.
we are best friends giggling on a bed. And I'm sorry I had to tell you that.
That's okay.
But are you okay with it?
I'm 100% okay.
Thank you so much.
I actually want this dream to come back to you.
Okay,
I really
great. And I giggle on beds with you enough that I feel like
Yeah.
it balances out that I
Yes.
could have a couple dreams or a couple snoozes.
Of course. Of
Okay,
course.
great.
No
Thank you
hard
so
feelings.
much. Awesome. She's a real one. She's a real. So Brian is in this show, The English Teacher. It is so funny. There's only 8 episodes. I hope that it gets renewed and that there's a season 2. There's so many places to go with this.
Yes.
But it is what we've talked about in weeks past is committing to the bit.
Yes.
No one commits to a bit better than Brian Jordan Alvarez.
That is correct.
So on his Instagram right now, there's this audio that's like, I love your daughter. And
Yes.
the dad's like, well, what can you do for her? And he's like, nothing or whatever. And then it's like, being about baby. I gotta acting crazy. And he's dancing to it. And it's so ridiculous. And he has now used the audio 6 reels in a row.
Yes. Yes. He might be on the spectrum.
No, yeah.
Because he gets stuck on something and he has to push out 20 pieces of content about it.
Has to.
And we all like them all. Thousands of likes. We're all just living for it.
We never want it to stop. Now
Yeah.
I'm like, but one of the funniest comments on it. One of the funniest comments I said to Kristen is, I saw someone commenting about The English Teacher, how great it was, and one of the top comments was, I'm shocked that you play a gay guy in the show.
Oh, yes.
So Brian's like,
He's like, I'm gay.
I'm gay. And she was like, what? So I am reading this and I'm like, what? And I say to Kristen,
You didn't know.
I didn't know he was gay.
No, I don't know how you don't know. How do you not know?
How are they going to know?
I knew.
I didn't know. I had no clue. I thought
Not that he's giving very thin.
no.
But there were enough breadcrumbs, as we talked about earlier.
Really?
I was Hansel following the candies to Brian Jordan Alvarez's hut in the woods, his gay hut.
His gay bar in the woods, which is ironically how this season ends. It's so funny. Anyway, I'm like, wait, he is?
Yes.
He plays a very convincing one in the show.
Yes, well, that's just who he is.
I had no clue. I had no clue. And so I'm reading this comment like, yeah, slowly raise his hand. He does play some straight people. He plays characters.
Yeah, he can play
on
anybody.
his Instagram, he makes up his own characters.
Actually, one of his best straight characters on Instagram is an Australian weightlifter.
Yes. And he has a sum and a wipe. His wipe and sum.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, well, he plays it so convincingly.
Yes.
I get that it's a bit, but he leans so hard into these bits. I never want this current one to end with this song, I love your daughter. What can you give her? So then his latest one is, it's like, well, what can you give her? And he opens up a box of pizza. And he's like, pizza. And then closes it and then does his dance. And enough people are like, if you keep dancing like this, you will convince me you're straight. Like I will hook, line, and sinker believe that you will come for me. Like you want me. And I am just dying. Like I love the show. And what we really love, and Chris and I have talked about this, what we love about the show is it rides the line and it jumps over both sides.
It sure does ride the line. And so I think no matter where you fall on like lifestyle, politics, you will be pleased by the end of the episodes because it's showing both sides.
He does
it's
such a great
showing
job.
the good and the bad of both of those. And the way they weave it together, and they do it so funny.
So funny. Lily and I watched the season finale the other day. We were laughing so hard we had to keep pausing because we didn't want to miss anything.
Yeah, because it's quick.
It's so
just
fast.
like Schitt's Creek. You will miss things.
And so you have to be paying attention. Don't pick up your phone. Pay attention. Look up the entire time.
Yes.
But we were laughing so hard, and there were parts that we were like cringing so bad. We were like,
cringe.
oh my god, like kind of just looking out of the corner of your eye, like, are they going to do this? Is this happening? Is this happening? It's great, Brian. We love you. If for any reason you were to see us talk about you, just know we are two of some of your biggest fans,
and that we have been your fan since pre-COVID.
Yes.
And so to watch the come up of this now, of course, he was already acting, but to see now the stardom that has he was on the Today Show the other day.
Yeah, Good Morning America.
Sorry, Good Morning America. Sorry.
I was so delighted.
GMA.
Yes, he was on Good Morning America.
I just think that does mean he's going to get renewed, because if you've been brought on GMA, that's telling me like enough people have picked this up and they love it. Because
I'm like, are we in a vacuum here?
Yeah.
Because we were already following him and people already love him, and so now we're seeing all of his stuff. Am I just in a vacuum of the English teacher and it's a big deal because of these people?
I think it has taken off. People have been looking for just a funny show.
Yes.
We're done with serious. Also, I don't want to laugh track. I'm not watching comedy shows where they're telling me where to laugh.
No, stop.
Ever.
If you write well enough,
you should be laughing.
We are going to laugh.
The Office, Parks and Rec, Arrested Development, Schitt's Creek, and English Teacher. Those are my top 5. Do you like that list?
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Could not agree more. So good.
If you write well, you get the laughs. That's it.
You know what? For a while there, I was really into Modern Family. Really well written.
Oh yeah,
Very
Modern Family.
funny.
Yes, that we should add that in.
Very funny show. I could definitely laugh at that. I'm trying to think of some of the other best comedies. Like, I mean, Friends was good.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine, is that another
Brooklyn
one?
Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
Yep. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Actually, some of my family is trying to decide if there are going to be some Brooklyn Nine-Nine characters for Halloween.
I haven't watched this one, but the one that's the soccer coach. The soccer coach guy. Jason plays him. He's a soccer coach or becomes a football coach.
What show are we talking about?
And he has a mustache. You watch it. What's the show?
Oh, yes.
You got it. You got to do it because I don't watch
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Oh, Ted Lasso. Super funny, but also deep.
Oh, it is
Also
deep.
real.
Oh, okay.
But not, I mean, when it is serious, it's still funny.
Okay.
It's still funny.
All right.
Like it's walking a perfect line.
Okay.
It's walking a perfect line.
Wow, we have given the PodcATTS a great list of shows here.
But English Teacher for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. Please watch it. Please help it get like it went from 14 to now 11. And I know that they would love to break the top 10. And if it can happen because of us, great.
Yes. Oh man.
Maybe that will make him see us even more.
Oh my gosh. If we could ever I would actually cry if I could.
I would absolutely cry.
I would cry if we could interview
I would
him.
cry if we could interview Brian Jordan Alvarez.
Even if it was like just 15 minutes. If he could give us 15 minutes, listen, Brian Jordan Alvarez, if you are listening to this.
Yes.
We have our finger on the pulse of like suburban moms.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes.
That's who's listening. And
Yes.
so if you're needing some of that still for the ratings, like talk to us, talk to me, and I will talk to Miss Benson. You feel me? So like, please, we would love to chat.
Please let us chat with you. We will ask you all about the show, ask you about Instagram. We'll ask you about your dating life or not. Like whatever you want to talk about, we will talk about. We just would be sponges to hear your brilliance and your comedy and everything that you have to say because we love you so much and we love English Teacher. And we hope that everybody gives it a chance and watches it.
I love that. I'm so glad you ended on that.
Yep. Okay, well, to be continued. We'll see how far they rank.
Bye.
Climb. How far they climb in the ranks.
It's the climb. Miley Cyrus, child actor. Woo! Oh boy.
There's a case study.